This is the series that attempts to remove the mechanical variable from motorsports. Take 12 of the world's finest drivers. Let them go head-to-head with one another, relying on their racing skills alone. Now, to accomplish that, we run 4 different races on different tracks. And the cars themselves, the Dodge Daytona race cars, are as mechanically matched as man can make them. And even at that, both the race cars they'll drive and the positions they'll start from today are determined by a draw. Now, the purse is $670,000. It's substantial, but to the drivers, it's incidental to the title of champion. Let's take a look at the field as they roll toward the green flag. There in that powder blue car is Rusty Wallace. He is in the front row. On the pole, though, is Geoff Brabham in the lime green car, the road racer. Then in row number 2, Davy Jones, a road racer in the orange car, and Unser Jr., the IndyCar racer, in a purple machine. In row 3, Pete Halsmer from road racing in the mint car, and IndyCar racer Scott Pruett, his machine is tan. The 4th row is Dale Earnhardt from NASCAR, the powder blue car, and Hurley Haywood, a road racer in the gold car. The 5th row, Davey Allison of NASCAR in an orange machine, and NASCAR's Arie Gant in the red car. And the 6th and final row in the white car is NASCAR's Ricky Rudd and Indy champion Arie Luyendyk. So they're set up on turn number 4 here at Daytona and ready to run toward the green flag. The race is 100 miles, 40 laps. Laps under the yellow in the IROC do not count. So very slowly now behind the pace car as it begins to pick up the speed just a bit. And we see it cycle down into the pits. The field is now under the control of road racer Geoff Brabham as he brings them to the flag, and the green is out. The 16th running of the International Race of Champions is underway with Rusty Wallace, with a little help from Unser Jr., pulls out in front.
That's a difference in experience, Paul. You can see that little Al teamed up with Rusty, immediately leaving Geoff Brabham to fall back further.
Geoff Brabham drops back to 3rd. Dale Earnhardt comes up using the low groove, and he's got a couple of friends running with him down on the low side, including Ricky Rudd in that white car, and Davey Allison in the center of the low run in the orange machine.
Remember, Rusty Wallace, leading now, is bidding for his 4th consecutive IROC win.
And look at Earnhardt as Earnhardt comes down under Unser Jr., hooks up with Rusty Wallace. He's, of course, getting a great benefit from Davey Allison just behind him, and Earnhardt comes from back in the center of the field and moves into the lead.
You can watch how the different guys team up, Paul. Some of them chose to go with Dale Earnhardt, some of them chose to go with Rusty Wallace. They're switching back and forth. They really don't care who they team up with as long as they get there. Boy, look at that.
All over the track. He had that thing totally lost for a second
Rusty
there.
Wallace. He almost lost it right there.
That shows that you can get him sideways and still save him, because he was sure sideways for a while.
Junior, Rusty Wallace, now works the low groove and begins working on Little Al.
And you notice as Dale passed Little Al, he pulled right down in the lower groove, left Little Al out high, and Little Al almost lost it by the guys, Rusty Wallace, right behind him, Paul. The drafting is so important here, and how the guys make the decision. Now, Little Al pulling off the left, going by Dale, and he's hoping that Rusty gets behind him and helps.
7 lead changes the last 7 laps. They make it to the line, it'll be 8.
Speeds of over 185 miles an hour. This is very seriously fast stuff. Do not be thrown off by the proximity with which they race. They're going very fast. Battle for control by Rusty Wallace early in the race. He saved it with ease. I think they're more stable than they've ever been.
There's Davy Jones running off the pace. We indicated that he did get against the wall, and you can see he's well back from the pack.
He was a protege of A.J. Foyt's in Indy a few years back, a man with immense promise, really.
See, what mostly happens to that is he bends the fender just a little bit, and he ruins the aerodynamics of the car, slows it down.
The leader now is Ricky Rudd with Earnhardt just behind him. They swap the lead constantly. We've talked in the past about the performance of these cars and drivers. This may be the best one yet. Rusty Wallace runs in 7th place right now, so he's got plenty of room to make up if he wants to come forward and race with those at the front of the field. Currently, it's Rudd in front.
Pruett is coming into the pits.
Scott Pruett goes to the pit road as the yellow comes out. There was a quick move there. It looks like Pruett had his
and Halsmer's car there
seems
to be damaged. So we have finally had an incident. Pruett's car is on fire.
Halsmer pulled way down to the inside coming through the fourth turn and was looking for position, and it sure looks like he got together with Scott Pruett. Scott Pruett's car is stopped there. Scotty is out of the car, and standing a few feet away from it is there's some telltale black smoke coming out of there, which may tell you that that particular car could be in trouble. Well, they've made a mess out of the beautiful front end of that Dodge Daytona of Pete Halsmer. The situation was contact with Scott Pruett. Now, look at the cars down in the low groove as we look at this replay. That's Scott Pruett in the tan car, and he suddenly slows. Here comes Halsmer. And he center punches him, Bobby.
Yeah, Scott Pruett was obviously pulling off the fast part of the racetrack. I suspect he had a problem, was trying to get out of the way. Pete Halsmer's coming up behind. It just happened too quick.
From the onboard camera on top of Harry Gant's car, there is Halsmer as he slams into the back end of Scott Pruett as Pruett drifts across in the front.
Halsmer is a graduate of Purdue University, and of course he is also a Vietnam War veteran. So this is the look from inside Scott Pruett's car. And you'll see what Pruett does. He signals, and now he starts to move very fast across the track.
And you see the smoke? He's already got a fire in that car, and he wants off the track.
Yeah, and watch for the moment that he's hit from behind. There it is right there.
That means his engine's really putting out some power right now. Just not getting a ton of help at all.
Whoa! One car down low, and that's Arie Luyendyk. Has he lost it, but is he going to save it?
Yes.
You bet he is. Well, Arie Luyendyk, boy, that had to tighten him up.
He did a day's work right there, I'll guarantee you.
That was Gant's partner, though, and you wonder, it looked like he and Gant may. We'll have to look and see if that's going to cost Gant. He was really depending on that help.
He took the starch out of Gant, who incidentally won the IROC championship back in 1975. You see him running 5th there right now.
Harry Gant drops back to 5th place as Ricky Rudd still leads Earnhardt across the line now with just 2 laps to go.
Gant, the 85 champion of IROC. I'm sorry, not 75. He's old, not that old. You see him very competitive here right now.
Well, he's doing it down there by himself, Sam. Just making a fool out of aerodynamics and drafting right
now.
This
isn't supposed to work, but it appears that when you take that tight line, and Earnhardt experimented with that earlier, you can make it work.
A lap and a half to go. Harry Gant now drops into 5th position and tries to pick up some of the benefit of the draft. Ricky Rudd will see the white flag as he comes around. But every time he looks up in his mirror, he knows he's got Dale Earnhardt sitting right there in what may be the most enviable position on the course.
Boy, you can bet the gears are churning away. 1 lap to go in Dale Earnhardt's brain right now. What is he going to do about Ricky Rudd?
Now's the time, Paul. They have to make their decisions. All their thinking has come to an end. They have to make their move now if they're going to do it.
The final 2.5 miles, now down to 2 miles. Harry Gant looks for any help that he can get. No one seems ready to do so. Now Earnhardt looks to the inside of Ricky Rudd onto the backstretch. Allison sits back and watches both of them as they battle for the lead. Gant sits back here in 4th place. They move into the final 2 corners, back into the high bank. Look at the maneuver around as Earnhardt tries to keep Allison in check, and Gant comes down inside Allison to the inside. Ricky Rudd is on the high side. Gant continues to move down the inside. They're nose to nose as they head for the tri-oval of the checkered flag. It's Gant and Ricky Rudd and Earnhardt moving down to the inside as they're 3 abreast coming across the line, and Earnhardt takes it. Earnhardt, then Gant, and Ricky Rudd at the line as they hit the line 3 abreast. The Winston Cup drivers, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and not separated by more than 1.5 feet.
I can't tell you who got 2nd. I can tell you who got 1st, and I sure couldn't pick 2nd out of that. That's the closest one I've ever seen.
That was a work of art by Dale Earnhardt. He had to put together 3 or 4 coalitions in that last lap to pull off what he did. What a brilliant victory for Dale Earnhardt.
So round number 1 of the International Race of Champions 16th running is now complete, and the man in the light blue car, Dale Earnhardt, has taken the win.